Hi, I'm Jayda Rangel. I am 19 years old and I'm here from ASU. I just finished my first year as an ASU cheerleader.
ASU, go Rams! Go Rams, go! Fight, Rams, fight! Woo! Row, row, row! Hail, alma mater!
back.
That dude can kick, man. Jesus.
Hi, so the first part of my interview, we're going to go over the cultural fit question. For me, I feel like the ideal team culture is people who mainly support each other, who don't compete amongst others on the team and see other people as a competition or as someone they have to beat, who instead work together to better not only themselves but each other, and who want to grow together and really support each other and be there for that. I feel like I can contribute to that culture because I really enjoy seeing other people flourish. I really like it when other people are happy and doing really good. I feel like this past year, a lot of my time was spent on the sidelines, not just supporting teams here at Angelo, but supporting my team as well. I feel like to be a representative a representative of Angelo State University, a lot of that means, trying to better yourself and really putting on your best self every day and making sure that you're being somebody that represents Angelo State well and that people want to be when they're on campus. So for social skills, the personality traits that I view as important for my team would be honestly outgoing. It is so hard to talk to other team members who do not want to talk to you, and it's really hard to get that connection that I feel is so important in cheerleading because we're not an individual sport at all. So I feel like even if a person's more quiet, anyone that is willing to branch out of their comfort zone and really get to know their teammates is really important. I think a lot of not necessarily happy-go-lucky, but positive attitudes are really good for the team. And I'm not saying like, oh, there's nothing we can't do. I mean like actual realism, like, hey, even if we don't get it the first time, let's try again and we'll learn it. And I think that try hard and that push forward mentality is really important. I haven't had any conflicts from any experiences I had at ASU at all. Can't really think of any, but I did have some during my high school experience, and we had a girl who really wanted to teach our brand new JV girls who've never cheered before how to do a basket. However, our coach was not present. There weren't other team members present. It was just that stunt group, and I happened to be nearby. And they were about to do a basket, and I was like, hey, this might need to wait till there's more people that can help. And they firmly, not too kindly, told me that they were fine and that things were going to go well. And so I kind of stood off to the side and watched, like, okay, I'll just stand here to make sure, things don't actually go wrong. And because I had that experience, I already knew, ahead of time that brand new people doing a basket wasn't that going to be that good of an idea, especially since a back spot had never been a back spot ever for any stunts. It did go bad, and I was able to catch the flyer's head before she fell, and I just kind of looked at her and said, hey, next time maybe, try to stunt a little safer. The attitude I got back from that was not great, but I ultimately feel like that flyer's safety was my main focus, and even if she wasn't happy with me at the end, I hope that my impact saved maybe her career or saved her from a concussion or maybe even a headache for that day. Um, for cheerleader or for the teamwork category, um, definitely encouraging each other is how I think cheerleaders can show that they're a team player. So a lot of times you might not be in the position that you want to be in, or you're not doing skills that you want to do, and you're having to watch someone else, in a sense, live out your dream. And you have to learn to show, like, hey, I might not be doing that, but I'm happy for you, and I'm so glad that you are representing our team in this way. And I think that's so important, to just be happy for other people. For me, when I build, that positive relationship with my other teammates, is honestly through compliments. Really, kind of like going through and making sure that they feel appreciated. I know that we've done gratitudes, and for me, when I'm going through my practice, I'm always looking for somebody that I haven't complimented before, someone that I feel like might not have immediately stood out throughout that practice, but who really just keeps working hard. And I feel like looking for those things encourages people to get better and to keep going, even when they feel like their work might not be noticed as often. Being a part of a team, our letters last year were FFSGTY, and I believe I answered the same question last year, but it does mean putting yourself above just yourself, if that makes sense. Making sure that your team comes first, and you're not doing it just for yourself. It's not just me, me, me. You have to take into consideration that cheerleading is ultimately a team sport. There's hardly any individualness going on, and you have to shut that aside. You have to make sure that your team is what's looking good, and even if things aren't going the way that you want, oh well, there's other people that you have to be looking out for. For self-awareness, I think my biggest strength is it's really, really hard to bother me. There's just not much that you can do to really to upset me anymore. I think I'm able to keep a really level head and stay professional, even if I'm upset or if I'm deep down bothered. And I think that level of calmness and responsibility is really important, because sometimes when you're competing and you're really getting into it, it's really easy to get competitive and really easy to lose your cool. And I think I'm able to bring that sort of groundness that can't be moved to the team. My biggest weakness is sometimes I probably can be a little too unbothered. I tend to kind of let others be a little mean to me and kind of not say anything. And so my plan is probably to learn how to stick up for myself, but in a positive way, and just try and contribute back to the team with kindness as much as possible. For the most important to the least important, as a Hispanic individual, family has and always will come first. That's just how I was raised culturally, and that's how I view life now. After that would be school. I worked really hard to get in university. I worked hard for my scholarships. I'm working hard on my grades, and ultimately the future lies in my education. So that would be my second priority. My third would be cheer, because just like anything else that I've worked for, I worked so hard to be a cheerleader. I didn't make it in junior varsity, and I had to really keep pushing and pushing and pushing until I finally made it my first year in high school. And I fought really hard to be a collegiate cheerleader, and I value that. I value that for myself, and I also value that because there's teammates that are relying on me and that need me to be there for them and need me to give my all, so that way they're able to grow while I'm on that team. After that comes work. So I love my job, I really do, but I already have that experience even before I got here, and I think that a job is something that I could have years and years and years later, but family aren't around forever. You're not going to be in school forever, and cheerleading is really something. When you think about the longevity of cheer, it's not very long at all, and you don't have a lot of time left when it comes to collegiate athletics. And so I think it's important to prioritize those things, especially with family relying on you and other cheerleaders relying on you. And the last would be my friends, which is really sad because it sounds like I don't care about my friends. But my friends have their own lives. They're able to survive just fine without my full attention on them, and are able to thrive when I'm not in the room. And so I think that because my friends don't need me as much, because we're adults now, that I'm able to work on other things in my life, and I think that they probably would feel the same way. So for the interpersonal skills, I would say some of the difficult people have come from my on-campus job. Not everyone is technologically inclined, and that's totally fine. I get it. However, it does make it really hard when people make unreasonable demands from me, and I have to explain, hey, I'm sorry, we can't just boost your Wi-Fi, it doesn't exist. And I get met with some rather unfortunate responses, and a lot of that is not in my control. I can't make people understand the line of work that I do. I can't make people understand why things are the way that they are. So if I feel that I'm not in control, I'll hand it to somebody that I feel might be better fit for it. So for me, that was my supervisor. My supervisor has loads of more years of experience, and because of that, honestly, I feel like he gets taken a little more seriously in our line of work, because I do occasionally also face sexism in my job. So I just had to let that issue go and not make it about me and not let it ruin me, and just kind of make sure that the issue got taken care of in a way that needed to, even though I wasn't able to be part of it and I wasn't able to get credit for that. My communication style, I would say, I think that's a hard question. I'm a pretty open person, and I think that's really all there is to it. I don't think there's any style to it. I might be a little too blunt to have a style, or maybe I just don't talk at all. I feel like I'm very to the point and very focused on what I want to say. Between me and my coach, I would say is the same way. A lot of it is just checking in, like, hey, how am I doing? What are things I can improve on? And I'm not looking for any beating around the bush or sugarcoating. For dependability and accountability, the word dependable means that you can be relied on, and I think that's really important in cheerleading, because it's a team sport. I know I've said this countless times in this little interview, but it really is not about you in cheerleading, and there's 20 other people, minimum, that are relying on you to show up to practice, to learn your skills, to perform, to keep your grades up, and there's a lot of that. I know it was really hard during the season when we lost people due to grades or getting suspended, or if they didn't show up to practice that morning, and it really held us back, and that was such an eye-opener on how other people really can affect how things go in cheerleading. And so I feel like being dependable is being there and doing the tasks that you're required to do. For a team member to show up that are dependable to the coach is just doing what is asked. As an athlete, you have to understand that your role on the team is the athlete. You are not the coach, and it's in your best interest and the best interest of others to follow the lead of the person in place. And so when you do that, you allow for the rest of the team to function really smoothly. If you have an argumentative cheerleader or cheerleader who thinks they're above the law, a lot of times they don't quite fit in. It's really hard to work around them. So when you do your best to accommodate, you actually become a better athlete, and especially to those around you. For mistakes, I'm usually pretty on that. I know last year it was really hard to display a lot of my skills, but I felt like when things did go wrong, I was able to be like, hey, that was on me. And I know that in my work life, that's a really common thing that I'll say, like, hey, I think I messed this up, or hey, I think I did this wrong. And usually that honesty allows for you to open up communication on how to improve. And while it may seem embarrassing, once you admit that you're wrong, you're able to grow, and you probably don't have that issue anymore, and then everyone forgets. It's so much easier that way. My overall goals for the season is probably to grow as a cheerleader. A lot of, I feel like last year I didn't get to actually learn as much as I wanted to, and so this year I want to overcome my fears and really branch out and learn new things while I have this opportunity in college. My personal goals for the season would be to strengthen some of my stunting skills. I tend to kind of shy away from them because I'm really, really afraid of injuries, specifically to my flyer. I tend to get kind of protective, and if I feel a little insecure, my immediate thing is, what if I drop them and I psych myself out? So my goal is to overcome that and to, really grow from that. I think that I would fit really good on the cheerleading team because not only do I now have experience on what it's like to be an ASU cheerleader, but I still hold those same qualities that I feel like I've talked about throughout this whole interview. I feel like I'm dependable, and I feel like I'm honest when I mess up, and I feel like I really get along with other people on the team, which I think is so important in this sport. And that's honestly why I feel like I would be a really good member of the team.